Well, now that we've finished Hinamatsuri, Wednesdays are going to be for a new show, and that is going to be Katanagatari. This is something I'm very curious about. I know very little about it. The original novels are by Nisio Isin. I have never seen any anime adapted from his work, and the only thing I've read from him is a manga called The Memorandum of Kyoko Okitagami, and that is it. I have very little experience with the man. So, I'm very curious about this. All I know is that I've seen images of, I guess, the main characters, the two main characters. I don't think I've even seen any, animation clips from the show, just images of the two main characters, and I like their designs. And I know it's about swords. I know that there was a book released once a month for a year, for a total of 12, and then they did the same thing with the anime. It was one episode a month for a year, and the episodes are double length. They're 50 minutes, which is a little more work for me, but, oh well, I'm curious to see the show, and hope I like it. So yeah, that's really all I know. I know it's about swords. Katanagatari, sword story, sword tale. There's 12 unique swords. They gotta get one per episode or something like that. That is it. So I'm curious to get into it. If you are new to the channel, thank you for checking out the video and the series. If you want to check the description down below, there's a Discord if you want to come hang out and talk about this stuff. There's a Patreon if you want to support me and get the videos early. And yeah, all that great stuff. But let's go ahead and get into this. I have no idea what to expect at all, so let's just jump in. We'll talk about it at the end of the video, but for now we're going to watch. So let's go in 3, 2, 1, play. It's going to be a long video. These are all going to be long videos. Time of the Warring States, time of corruption. There's an ultimate way of the sword. Oh, that used no swords. Okay. I only found out recently that these episodes were double length. I was like, shit. But, if it's good, then that's good. More time with a good show. I was just like, damn, that's longer videos. That's a little more time I gotta put into it, but I think it'll be fun. So we've got this burning building, and okay, there's your example of the way of the sword with no sword. Guy just took him out barehanded. More? More randos? Somebody is watching this. Alright, took that guy out pretty well. All of them, I guess, with a bare hand. Hida Takahito. The swordless style. So this guy's here to kill this rebel. And I think he probably just did, considering the display I saw from him with his hand. This Hida seemed like, he looks very womanly. It might be a guy. Sounds kind of like a guy. Seemed to know he would die, but he stood up to fight anyway. Wasn't going to go down just sitting there. And, his child, presumably, was watching? Or a child. Okay, I'm guessing that's her. It cut straight from the eye of that child to this, so assuming that is her older. But yeah, those two are the only thing I've ever seen from the show. I've seen images of those two. I guess both of them together are our main characters. But I really like their designs. I like the outfits. I like the art style. What we see in the actual show, I don't know. I'll be curious. See what it all looks like in motion and the environments and everything. But just the art style of them alone, I think it looks really nice. So yeah, this is exciting. Starting a new show that I really know nothing about, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I enjoy it. Hopefully you guys enjoy the videos. If you've never seen this series, maybe you'll watch it for the first time with me. And if you've seen it before, hopefully I do justice to it. I like that he looks like a Blaziken. That's nice. I'm sure he and Blaziken, and like potentially based off the same kind of design. Or I'm just an idiot. And I can't understand things unless I relate it back to Pokemon. Alright, Zetto, Kanna. Alright. Didn't kill him, exiled him. So, like, the hero of the rebellion was probably, like, really loved by the people. And he's like, I worry about him, like, usurping power from me. And he exiled him. Seems to be the case. Didn't kill him. So here we have our main guy and his sister. Is she sickly? Is she the older sister? Yeah, she's not doing so well. Wow. Yeah, we're just on this island and anything you know is going to end with you. He just likes to do it. Father's been dead for a year. But he's carrying on his sword style. Alright, I'd like to see it. So you guys could leave? Well, you think you're too sick to, but like you would be allowed to leave? Unless your identities were found out. I don't know if things will go well for the sister, because I know the main female character is this white-haired girl. Sister might die by the end of this episode. Especially since she said, show it to me later. That means there will be no later. Okay, so yeah, he inherited the sword style from his father. His father was Kyotoryu, or whatever, swordless style man. So is his technique without a sword? He probably doesn't even have a sword. So that guy was the hero of the rebellion, as in, like, he defeated the rebels. Curious to know more about that. What was the rebellion about? The person who he defeated. He was the hero of the rebellion, then was exiled because the shogun feared him. And now we have white-haired girl. So she's the one who came to the island just now. I like the outfits. They look pretty cool. But if she was the one who was watching when the rebel Hida was killed, does that mean she is his daughter? They're the children of those two? He did. That would be the father. Did she come for revenge? Yasuri Shichika. Shichika. Yeah, nobody knew what the state was after he came to the island. Yeah, he was pretty strong. It's a big-ass thing on his back. He'd say he's pretty strong. Which is now you. Okay, well, that's good. So our main characters can get their story underway. Togame and Shichika. Really? A strategist for the shogunate? All right. See how his so she want to learn about the fighting style? Oh, okay. He's got a big ass thing on his back, but he's gonna fight with that? Oh, she's got that eye. What's up with that? Not too great. Not too great, apparently. She is a strategist. Maybe not as much of a fighter. Gyafun! So January, so yeah, we'll just be going. I don't know if each book takes place in a month. January, February, March, April. I just know that's when they were released, but maybe it takes place each month over the course of a year as well. And she's like the only person you guys have seen, right? Other than your father? I don't know about the mother. Seems like she was probably dead before they came here. Since they're not mentioning her. I don't know how old they are. At least 20. Who's gonna mandate, like, who's gonna fucking monitor that? You guys are the only ones here. It's up to you. Alright, so not even all the ones in between. Just the original head and then his father, many generations later. What kind of ultimate move does he have? Oh shit. Yeah. So we got the fighter, the brawn, and the brains. True. Yeah, you still haven't seen it yet. Oh, really? You think he, Alright, she's confident in what her brother can do. Yeah, I think the evidence is enough. She looks so small, it's weird that she's the older one. Is ruling the world a natural desire for everyone? I don't know if that's for everyone. Okay. Yeah, he did. I think you might just be a little... That's not even really relevant. Just talk to him alone? Right. Bad at thinking. Good thing you'll have her to do the strategy. A swordsmith. Yeah, again, he said you just continue going without listening to what he's saying. She knows. A swordsmith and the swordless wielder, the swordless style user. So is he the one who made the swords that we're going to go after? Okay, just scattered throughout randomly. 1,000? I don't think there's 1,000 books. That'd be impressive. Not many. Alrighty. Did he, like, forge them down into 12? To have them all, of course. Holy shit. Still not very many. Or quite a lot. He disagrees with her. Because he doesn't know, so he's not good at thinking. So he got all 1,000 of them out of the 100,000 random swords he got. Well, he knew where they were. Alright, so the final 12 that he didn't collect. And they are like the most unique of all. They're the real ones. The cream of the crop. And that's what we're dealing with. Whoa. Okay. I'm not going to try to memorize all these right now. We'll see them as we go. Gun the flame. Is it a gun? To get his assistance? Yep, to get the swords. Yep. Thanks to your father. Things would have gone differently. So they want to get them, just in case. So that they can't be used against them. What is that? What? Well, I mean... just leave it be. If they've been silent for this long, just let it be. I wonder if she has any of her own ulterior motives. Definitely a lot of dialogue, very fast-paced dialogue, which I've heard is pretty standard for Nisio Isin. She doesn't know what that is. Okay, no one knows what that is. It's not a thing. I've been wondering this entire time if strategian was a word, because I had never heard that word before. So there we go. I thought it was like a weird translation error. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably to be expected. Whoa, look at those designs. Look at that little 2-foot tall one. Whoa. These are some, like, top-ass class swords. I'm very curious to see them. Alright, he got the most difficult one and then just vanished. That's the poison one? Everybody betrayed them once they get their hands on the swords. I want to see these swords and the people we gotta fight to get them. Should be pretty fun. Yeah, now these people have the swords in their hands. So that's dangerous, threatening. And that's a good point. They don't work for money, and he isn't going to lust after the power of a sword. Because he doesn't wield a sword. It's perfect. Do you have some other reward? Or some other reason? Love. Oh, hey. I'm sorry? Or, okay, fight. Oh, shit. Damn, she sensed that coming. Did she get stabbed? Is she okay? Those are not shuriken. Whoa, he's pissed and he's fast. I thought that was him jumping away at first. But yeah, either way, he got pissed. And he went after them pretty fast. Those are not shuriken, though. Unless I'm mistaken. Alright, so one of the ninja attacking. Usually work alone. But yeah, the sister sensed that really fast. I wasn't sure if she got hit. But she's fine. So yeah, why did they come here? And why? Yeah, is that a coincidence that he showed up at the same time as her? There was a guy who was driving the boat. So I'm guessing it's him. You putting the pieces together? You figuring that one out? Yeah, there we go. All right, sword number 1. Look at this guy. I like the outfits a lot. I really like the character designs. Okay. Whoa. Maniwa Komori. Like the visor and the... There's so much weird shit on them. I like them. I like the painterly backgrounds. So he's going after her. Yeah, she brought me right here. How rude. Uh-huh, sure. More than just the boonies. Alright, let's see this sword. What does it do? And how does one fight a sword with your hands? Do the swords take on like different forms? One of them may be a gun. Where, like, is it from the chains? Oh, he's got it in. Alright, yeah, you just do that then. Great. It's not disgusting at all. I don't know about that. Alrighty. Zetto Kanna. Yeah. Fine looking sword, but alright, Hades. Can talk a big game, but let's see what you can do. He doesn't seem to care at all. Yeah, that's not cool. Why are you putting it in your fucking body? Interesting point. It somehow helps his body? Okay. No. Alright, I want to see this swordless style and what this sword does. Whoa, that's awesome. That was neat. I want to see more of that. Yeah, what does it do? But it didn't break. It's a very tough sword. Is that it? Definitely valuable. A sword that will never deteriorate in quality in any way. But is that it? Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you make something like that? I think he's probably got more up his sleeve than just that. So that's the first challenge here. A style that focuses on destroying weapons against a weapon that can't be destroyed. But he might just, defeat you regardless of breaking the sword. No, I don't think he does. I guess he's just disguised himself really well as that ferryman. I guess he just wants the challenge. See if he can break this unbreakable sword. Yeah, you said you had an ultimate move. That sounds a little meta. Yeah, just a little. I'll call it Katanagatari. Is she going to write a book called Katanagatari at the end of this? And it's like, she was the one who wrote it all along. Yeah, he just put it away. I mean, you were pretty confident in him being unable to break your unbreakable sword, but okay, if you want to try something else. Bah! Okay, some ninjutsu for you. Where'd she go? Did he take her? Yes, he did. But, I mean, I think he'll be able to handle it when he gets another chance. Her? It was. I actually kind of forgot about that. We were interrupted by a fight scene. And he just got fucking surprised and accidentally did it. He didn't mean to attack. That's pretty funny. This guy. Are really now? Yeah, like I don't know if that's true. This, I was gonna say he reminds me of Mito Tsuji from Yoapeta, but even that is a little much. Okay, when I said he disguised himself as the ferryman, I didn't know exactly how, but apparently through literal magical transformation ninjutsu, he becomes a naked girl. Well, shit. Okay, so they have some abilities. Nice, nice. Yeah, they've got some actual abilities. That ability on its own is like far more interesting and impressive than the sword, than this particular sword. But it is the first one, so having a basic ability, we'll see how they go over time. Well then. I wonder if they can all do that? If they have different abilities they use? I'm thinking of Gon, or Tanjiro from Kimetsu no Yaiba. Someone who was raised, out in the mountains or in the woods, will have very strong senses, and he might be able to, smell that it's not her. Yep, he could tell. Damn, coughed up the sword. Or he just attacked. Someone came up behind him, so he turned around and kicked him. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the hair, the outfit, you just like, someone is here. I don't have time to figure out who it is. I'm gonna kick you. So is that the big ultimate move that we're gonna get? He kicked her? Him? Yeah, she's got ulterior motives for sure. Maybe she just wants them for herself. Maybe she wants to overthrow the shogunate. She said she wants talking about ruling the world and being a rebel. If her father was that rebel guy. To gain recognition. Okay, to become famous, but to what ends? You don't understand many things. Yeah, she's aiming for the top. So you think she's just about using people and betraying them? That's why he said no one would work for her. I definitely want to know more about exactly what she's doing. Yeah, they feel like they were used for her ends. And he's not going to play along with that. Yep. Yeah, if the rebellion had worked. So it seems like she's still trying to do that, and just in a different way. Yeah, she didn't seem to have any kind of grudge against you. Seems to just be going against the system as a whole, the Shogun. I want to know. I want to know what the... Yeah, exactly. I want to know the details of the rebellion and everything. Does want revenge. Trying to go about it in a smart way. You're so shocked and scared by their deaths that your hair turned white. Hello. And you just turned into him? You're not going to be able to use his style, though. It was a really, really small wound. But he's still got this... You should have picked that up in all this time. You spent a long time talking. There you go. Are we going to kill this guy? It's music. Whoa. Whoa, he just dropped it. Yeah, there you go. We can't. Yeah. They don't use swords because they just suck at it. So they did something else instead. That's awesome. Yes. Is that meta? 8 trigrams, 64 palms. Was that like Nisio scene being like, I just came up with this name yesterday. That's why it's generic. I'm trying to write one book every month. I don't have time for names. That was pretty badass. All those subsequent hits, and he's done. She doesn't know. How did you... I get you're clumsy, but you made it worse. She has no idea that he just saved the day. What are you going to do with that guy? I don't know if he's dead. Well, maybe you'll fall for her then. We did it! We got one! Because he's gonna go get the others. What about the sister? Is she just gonna stay here? You did it. You got him to fall for you. Yeah, they're leaving the sister. I'm surprised that he's willing to do that so easily. I guess they had a talk about it. It's like Link leaving Grandma on Windfall Island. Yeah, of course she wants a little bit more for her brother. I think she trusts him. And his strength. Maybe she's fallen for you too. Yeah, that's the basic one. She's fragile too. Listen to my strategies. Protect yourself. You also are important. No. Eat your vegetables. Protect yourself again. Aw, that's kind of cool. It was a little tsundere, like, it's not like I'm being considerate of you. But then part 4 is, I'm being considerate of you. That's nice. Good she can admit it. So our adventure begins. See you in February. What if I only uploaded one of these every month? I'm not gonna. Which child are you saying is weak? You're the one who just told them they could go! You're like, hey, I totally give you my blessing on this. 100%. I'm gonna give you this grand speech about how okay it is. And then as soon as they leave, she's like, wait. Maybe not. So, that was episode 1 of Katanagatari. Let me listen to the ED. And I think I'll listen to... Yeah, we'll just let the whole thing play out here and see if there's anything after. Yeah, right after it's done, we'll have a discussion. I'll talk about the episode and everything. Fun song, not too much in the way of visuals. Oh, this was White Fox? Alright, so it seems like we've just got a preview for next time. Look at what the hell is happening with that guy. Anyway, Cheerios indeed. I like the honey nut kind. Thanks for watching. Let's go on to the discussion. Alright, that was episode 1 of Katanagatari. There's a lot here. It's a long episode. There's a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of things explained, so if I'm shaky on any of the details, or if there's just any details that you want to tell me that aren't major spoilers or anything, then feel free. We can talk about it in the comments. I'm going to just go over what I thought of this so far. Like I said, not familiar much with Nisio Isin's work, other than that he is very dialogue heavy, which is quite apparent here. He likes his puns and his wordplay, which there are, a couple translated in this episode with translation notes. I'm sure there's plenty of others that were just there that I didn't even see. Again, feel free to explain any of those details that you want. But yeah, definitely very dialogue heavy in this episode. I really like the visuals. I like the character designs a lot. They are really wacky. Like you see in the preview for the next episode, of course the ninja in this one, he had like the hat, the visor, like the duckbill thing, and see a preview for the next episode, there's a guy who has one too in an even weirder outfit. Like, they're really unique looking, and I really like them, and just the characters themselves, the faces and everything. I like the design of it. Haven't seen much in the way of environments. We're just on this island in this episode, but in general, I like the way it looks. We'll see what kind of places we go to, what kind of variety we get, but mostly with the characters, I think they're really cool. Ever since I had originally seen those characters, just images of them, the two main characters, I thought they looked nice, so it's cool seeing them in motion here. And just getting the basics of the story about them going after these 12 legendary swords and all the backstory around all of this. Again, it's a lot, but I'm going to try to go into it as best I can. So you've got Togame, who is the daughter of the leader of these rebels. I really want to know more about that, what the deal with him was, and what exactly they were really fighting for. Whereas Shichika, the male main character, is the son of the guy who killed Togame's father, the hero of the rebellion. Whereas after the rebellion, the shogun banished the hero to this island, presumably just out of fear of him taking power from him, because of him being like this popular hero of the people, or of the rebellion. Like, people would love him, and maybe he was just an insecure guy. I'm just thinking of Orochi from One Piece right now. But yeah, didn't kill the guy, exiled him to this island along with his children. I assume his wife was already dead at the time. There's no mention of a mother. I'm guessing the main character is around 20, early 20s. He seemed to have been very, very young when he came to this island, so didn't really have much knowledge of a lot of things. The older sister seemed to have a little more. Maybe she's more like mid-20s. Not really sure about that, but they are just on this island by themselves because their father died last year. It was just the three of them, and now it's just those two. Shichika's a very strong guy, carrying around that big-ass thing of water, whereas his sister is sickly, but might be a little more to her than that, because of course she's smarter than him, a little more knowledgeable, but also when they get attacked by the ninja, she senses the weapons coming, and she, jumps in the way to do something. So maybe she's not the best physical fighter, but maybe she's just got really honed senses, which I kind of expected from him, because I'm just kind of used to that in, shonen series, for example. Like I mentioned in the video, Gon from Hunter x Hunter or Tanjiro from Kimetsu no Yaiba, people who grew up in the mountains or in the woods or something, and they have these really strong senses, strong sense of smell. Expected that kind of thing from him. Maybe that's more her thing. I don't really know. But yeah, I expected her to die, honestly, just because, we have our two main characters, and he's going to have a reason to go set off on his journey, and she's the frail, sickly sister, and she's like, oh yeah, show me your ultimate move later, and I was like, oh no, she's going to die, but she did not. We did leave her behind, though, entirely, which was a little weird. That was a little jarring. I would have appreciated it had there been a scene of him thinking, oh, I'd like to go, but my sister. But we don't really get that. We don't actually get a conversation between the two of them at all. We see that the sister is fine with it, talking to Togame about it, but I'm surprised that he was just so into it. He's like, yeah, it's fine. I know she's sick, and she's the only person on this island. I guess there's no dangerous animals or anything on this island. I guess that's fine, so he's just... I think she'll be fine. It's a little weird, honestly. But anyway, Shichika's father, and now him, used a swordless style of combat, which is rather interesting, and I really like the reveal that it's not that they won't use swords, it's that they can't. It's just like genetically within them that they're bad at using swords, so they don't, and they developed this other style, which is really funny. I like that a lot, and I wasn't sure how they were going to present it at first, if it was just going to be kind of like a supernatural power, where they just like stop swords with their hands, or if we just kind of do a thing where we see the swordsman and the guy running towards each other, and then there will be a flash, and then in the next frame they're both past each other, and the guy with the sword falls over, and we don't really see like literally exactly what he did. It's just kind of like that shonen jump cut past you thing. Speaking of One Piece again, it's the thing Zoro likes to do. But no, we actually get some details when he gets to fight the ninja guy, seeing him do these actual moves, like when he put his arms behind his back and tried to catch the sword back there, which was actually meant to break it. I thought that was really cool, that we got these specific techniques that they have come up with and that they use to fight people who wield weapons. It's not just like, I'm gonna somehow have sword hands. They actually use techniques to disarm the opponents or try to break their weapons, and then really strong-ass finishing blows that I think killed the guy, I'm assuming, because there's no mention of him after that, so I guess he's dead. He just hit him a bunch of times, which was really cool looking, and he died. So thank God, because that guy was actually really annoying. There was a lot of dialogue. A lot of talking, a lot of exposition, a lot of things being explained. I would have definitely appreciated more visual flourish, more things being shown, some cutaways, you know, like when you're explaining more about the swords and the shogun and all the stuff behind it, if we could get a little bit more to the visuals rather than them just sitting in a little house. Because that's what a lot of it was. A lot of the visuals while the exposition was happening was just them sitting there and not really moving much, or standing there and not really moving much. And so it did get a little tiring, sitting through all the dialogue. Some of it felt a little repetitive, felt like it went on a little too long, especially with the ninja guy. He was annoying. His voice was a little annoying. His rate of talking was a little annoying. I kind of wanted him to go away. I'm glad he's dead. So yeah, we'll see how it is going forward. You know, this was to set everything up. So we'll see if there's an equal amount of dialogue in every episode from here on. I know it's just kind of Nisio Isin's thing. I get that it's a style. It might not be necessarily my preferred style. I do enjoy the showing over the telling. But for now, you know, it's not like made me hate the episode or anything. I did enjoy it quite a bit. I like the characters so far, the two main ones that we have. Shichika is very sheltered, living on this island. He can't even really recognize people's faces all that well. It takes him some time, because he's only ever known his father, and recently just his sister. So he doesn't know a lot, and he knows that he doesn't know a lot. I'm not very good at thinking, he says. And I like the little moments where he may pretend to know what he's talking about, like, 1,000 swords, 100,000 swords, like, that's a lot, or that's not many, but then his sister has to come in with the correct response, and he's got to be like, oh, that's what I was supposed to say. And him just not really knowing a lot about anything. His sister knows a little bit, but he's very sheltered, so seeing him go be a fish out of water out in the real world, we'll see what kind of interactions that causes and how he grows as a character. But, you know, for now, he's told by this girl, I need you to fall in love with me. And he's just kind of like... By the end, I'm sure he's not literally in love with her. He's just going along with her. He's decided he wants to help her. And he's like, okay, I'll tell her that as my way of saying, yes, I'll go help you. For now, he's definitely a little bland. I'm curious to see where he goes. But, you know, for now, there's not a lot to him because of his upbringing. It makes sense that he would be this way. He's just some guy who's lived on an island. He can't really have too much going on. So we'll see. And then Togame, the strategist. I wasn't sure if strategian was a word. I looked it up and I think it actually is. I think it was just her title as a whole that she made up. But yeah, not a physical fighter in the slightest. Very fragile. very clumsy, like ridiculously so, but very ambitious, wanting to take the right-hand seat of the shogun by getting these swords that were... It's cool hearing all about the swords. Like, they collected 100,000 to try to find these 1,000 swords, which, of those 1,000, 12 were like the really good ones. The 1,000 were really a test to make sure those 12 would be as good as they can be, and those are the 12 that are still out there and that she's looking for. And I really want to know more about her too, because of course she explains that the shogun is looking for them in order to just be safe, and so he doesn't have to worry about them ever being used against him. And they even bring up, like, at this point, isn't it better to just leave them be? And of course it turns out that she really wants them for herself, or at least for her own name recognition and fame, so she can rise up the ranks and also maybe avenge what happened to her family. I don't know what the deal is with her eye. And Shichika, when he comes back from killing Ninja Boy, says that he had said something about her eye, but I don't remember him ever mentioning anything about her eye. So I guess that was off screen? I'm not really sure, but he says something about the eye. I don't know what the deal is with that. But other than that, I'm curious what kind of powers we will get throughout this series, both the ninjutsu, or just abilities that some of these people have, and the swords themselves. The antagonist in this episode, his abilities were much more interesting than the sword itself. Of course, having ninja weapons within him, again, was funny when he just burst out laughing at the "I need you to fall in love with me" thing when he was eavesdropping, and so he attacked accidentally. But then the fact that he can transform perfectly into anyone. The sword, all it had going for it was that it was unbreakable. So I was wondering how that could be possible. Apparently the creator was into the occult and some alchemy stuff, so he can do some supernatural, magical things with these swords, which is exciting going forward for the other 11. This one, hopefully, is the most boring out of them, because, you know, there's not really much to it. It's like, that's cool, that's useful for you when you wield this sword, but with the build-up that they had, like with these swords, they're so fucking great. Like, one of these swords is gonna wipe out a country. I don't think so with this one. Like, I mean, there's no difference between having this sword and, like, having a couple swords if you're in a battle. Like, this one, it's better than an average sword, because it's never going to deteriorate in any way. It's way better. But with the level of hype, and compared to what I imagined, and what I imagine the other swords will probably be like, this one is what I assume will be the least interesting, and that's why we started with it. It doesn't break. It doesn't, like, shoot fire, or, like, create illusions, or is a gun, which one of them might be. It just is real tough. So that's fine. It's just, you know, that's not that interesting of a sword power. I want to know more about them, though. You know, they refer to the sword's poison multiple times, and at first I was wondering, like, if they meant that literally, because I think one of them was maybe called poison. I might be wrong about that. But I think mostly they just mean the, like, seduction of wanting to use it, because people are so power and money hungry, they get their hands on this thing and they're like, nope, not helping you anymore, I'm taking it for myself. I don't know if there is a literal actual effect from the swords that cause them, because the ninja said something kind of like that like it makes you want to chop off people's heads. I don't know if literally when you get your hands on it, it kind of takes you over at all, or if it's just because you have such power in your hands, you just can't resist it. But yeah, I do like that conversation about can't trust these people who are after money or after honor or anything like that, and you are the perfect person to come to because you don't know anything about money or societal status. You've been living on this island your whole life, and you're not going to want the sword because you don't and can't use a sword. So he's the perfect one to come after, to join you in this mission. You gotta be a little more careful, though. I know she's the strategist, so I'm looking forward to seeing the team up, his physical power, with her strategies, what kind of stuff she'll come up with, maybe if they'll fight in tandem against any of these swords' abilities, maybe he'll be having a hard time, and she'll come up with strategies for how he can fight, or how he can apply his swordless style. But for now, you gotta be careful, you're very clumsy, and you kinda just let the ninja guy come with you on the same vehicle. Like, I know I wasn't followed. Well, yeah, you weren't. You just brought him with you. So be more careful about that kind of thing. I like the relationship that they have so far. I want to see where that goes when we learn more about Togame and we see how Shichika reacts to anything that's not an island and his sister. Again, him leaving the sister, it's a little weird how skipped over that was. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't really matter all that much. We know he's going to go, so let's just let it happen. Not really sure what she meant at the end when she said that child is weak. Hope they'll be okay. Did she mean Togame, because she's physically weak? Did she mean Shichika, like mentally, because he doesn't know anything about the outside world? She just got finished talking about, she seemed very confident in his physical abilities, and she was like, yeah, it's okay, go. And then I guess she was just a little worried after the fact, like, I'm hoping they'll be okay. I don't know. Like I said, the villain was definitely underwhelming, as was the sword ability itself. I would expect a more simple fight in the first episode, so that's fine. I'm sure they'll get more interesting as we go, but this one is pretty simple. Just this kind of annoying guy had a tough sword, tried a transforming thing, didn't work at all. He gets hit and he's done. I did like how the transforming thing went, like I said, with him just reacting instinctively to anybody behind him, not even taking the time to really look at who it was, and then even if he did, couldn't quite recognize her fast enough anyway, so it's just like, yeah, I'll hit her. The fact that he grew up so outside of social norms and outside of civilization allowed him to just attack first and ask questions later. But we'll see how that goes when he gets wherever they're going. I don't know what kind of crazy landscapes they'll have to traverse. What kind of people they'll fight, people using these swords or just other enemies along the way. You've got this ninja clan, you've got that guy that they sent to go get the one that they thought was the hardest to retrieve and he took off with it, so we'll run into him at some point. Anybody that they'll have to face along the way, where Togame's ambitions will lead them and who they will have to fight. I don't know, and what other details we'll learn about the backstory, about like Togame's family and stuff. I really want to know. I don't know how closely this is based on anything in legitimate history. I'm sure it's not like completely accurate, but if there's any specific rebellion that this is actually based on, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, and like I said, I want to see what adventures they get up to, how they work as a team, how their relationship develops, and if they actually fall in love. I'm sure something like that is going to happen. If she ever worries that he'll betray her, because she worries about that kind of thing, of course, about people who fight for money or honor. She thought this would be perfect, find somebody who will fight for love, but who knows? Maybe she'll eventually be paranoid that he might leave her too, especially if he starts to change as he's exposed to more regions of the world. What'll happen with him, how they'll fight together, because it's not only beating the people and getting the swords, don't break them. It's actually lucky. Probably the reason this was done, making the first sword unbreakable, is because he would probably break it. Like, that's what he said he was going to try to do here. And she's like, no, under no circumstances will you break the sword. During this first episode, when he hasn't fully decided to go with her yet, if it had been any other sword, he probably wouldn't have listened to her and would have just broken it had he gotten the opportunity. So that's probably why they made the first sword unbreakable, so they could take the time to establish to him, don't break these swords. But from now on, they will be breakable, presumably. So he's got to not only fight these people using swords that have who knows what powers, but also try to get them from them and beat the people without breaking the swords. We'll see how that goes. I like what she said at the end with the rules about not breaking the swords, protecting her, and protecting himself twice. I thought that was kind of cool, because it was kind of a typical tsundere moment where she's like, I'm not saying this for your consideration or anything, I just need you to stay alive as long as possible. But then she said it again, protect yourself. That one was for your consideration. I thought that was a clever little moment. And I mentioned her being worried about him betraying her, but what will she do? Again, I don't know all the details about her and exactly what she's going for, so what if she decides that she doesn't need him anymore? I don't know. There's a lot of interesting ways this relationship can play out, and I have no idea. I didn't know what the series was going to be like, and from here, all I know is that we'll basically be going Sword of the Week, with hopefully some a little more underlying stuff going on in the background as we build up towards a climax. But in general, all the details, I don't know where we're going. I also really like the meta aspect. I can tell that's also just a Nishio scene thing. Like when she was saying you gotta use a really cool ultimate move to catch the reader's attention. Yeah, okay, I get it. And then at the end, this might have been meta as well, when he said, sorry, the name is really generic, I just came up with it yesterday. Maybe he was like, I gotta get this book done in a month. I don't have time to be thinking of the crazy attack names, so just whatever it's called. I don't know, but those gave it a little bit more flavor and personality, and that's true for all of it. Like I said, in general, would I prefer it to not be specifically this way with like the heavy dialogue and exposition the way that it is? Maybe, but I still enjoyed it for what it is, and it has the personality and the style to make it enjoyable with both the way the dialogue is and the artwork. And I think that's about all I have to say for now. We can talk about it more in the comments. I really am interested in hearing other people's opinions about this show and learning more about it and everything, so let's talk about it. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll have a new episode up every Wednesday. Thank you so much. Check out the Discord if you want to come hang out and talk. The Patreon if you want to support the channel and get early videos. Those are linked in the description below. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.